Hello everyone, and welcome back to Pirate Cove Philippines. Today's video is, as a foreigner, can I work in the Philippines? The simple answer to that is yes. But that's where simple stops, okay? There's two groups or two camps, let's say, on this issue. If you're researching it on YouTube, internet, Facebook groups, you'll have two camps. You'll have the big camp of the doom and gloomers, and they're going to say, no way, you can't work in the Philippines, it's against the law, period, okay? And that's not entirely right, okay? And then you've got a small camp, mostly from people that do work in the Philippines at certain jobs, which was easy for them to get. And they'll make it sound like it's real rosy and real easy to do. And most of those people are in like BPO operations and things like that. And they do this in different countries, and for them, they just walk right into this stuff pretty easy. Okay? And they'll tell you, yes, well, they're also correct too. Reality is somewhere back in the middle. Okay? If you are just coming over here and think that I'll just wing it and I'll get there and I'll find a job somehow, that's going to be very difficult, okay? Jobs are not easy to find here. Very high unemployment. On that, though, there are many jobs that foreigners can hold here, okay? And let's start right off with, there was a new law, new rules enacted because of a lot of Chinese companies, foreign companies coming in here and hiring a lot of Chinese workers, mainly in the construction field and the casino workers. And they were abusing the system, okay? And I'll explain a little bit more of the system to you, but they were abusing it. So you may hear about some new laws, and they really cracked down, and they did, yes. And there are certain positions that they just said absolutely not, no foreigners will hold those positions in this country at all. Okay, and that was because of a huge abuse of the system. All right, so like I said, if you're coming here and you think you're just going to wing it, you know, you got an airplane ticket and a little bit of money in your pocket and think you're going to find a job and be able to stay here, that's really a bad way to try to do it. You want to set it up ahead of time. And there are plenty of companies that you can do that. The rule is that you have to have certain skills that are uncommon or not readily available in this country. And that can be a whole lot of different things. With technology and the changes in technology, rapid growth, that's going to be easy to point out many different types of jobs. There are a lot of corporate and international corporate companies in this country. One way a lot of people, this will be the higher end professionals, higher end executives. Of course, they're probably working with international companies. These companies may be either based here or have outlets here, departments here, maybe something like that. And of course, that's going to be all prearranged with your company or the company here already. And it's all able to be set up. They have large legal departments. They have people that do nothing but take care of the I'll get into it in a minute. It's called an AEP. It's your permit and then the proper visa. And that's the key thing. You have to have an AEP. That is a alien employment permit. And they are done by the department is called DOLE, Department of Labor Employment. You have to have that. And then once you get that, then you have to go get the working visa. Now, like I said, if it's a big company and you set this up ahead of time, maybe you come here for a extended vacation and you've talked to some companies and you've got it all set up ahead of time, which is the smart way to do it. I would advise it as the only way to do it. Well, maybe not the only way to do it, but setting it up ahead of time, definitely. Many of these companies, like I said, they have big legal department, and their people will just get some information from you. You'll have to make a visit probably to the dole. But they're going to walk you through. They're going to do most all of the paperwork and make it a very seamless transition for you to come in here and work. And some companies don't. Maybe the smaller ones, they don't do that, and they require you to do the footwork. It can still be done, and many people do it real easy. Now, like I said, a lot of that is going to be up in the higher ends, but not all of it in the higher end. In the more of the labor type fields and things like that, skilled workers type field, you're going to have specialties in that are going to apply and be able to be used here. Like I said, with technology, there's things changing all the time. Let's just take something simple like a CNC operator, a high-tech type machinist. You're probably not going to come in here and be a machinist operator, because Filipinos can do that job with training. All right, but who's going to be able to train them? And who can write the programs for these new 3-axis CNC machines that you'll see in a lot of companies here? Well, that's a specialty area that you could easily be qualified for. Now, who qualifies you? Well, basically it's the company and their statement to the dole for your AEP and to immigration is that your skills are required for training and training on programming or doing the programming or something to that effect. Now apply that to almost any kind of field here, and you can see that in those areas as a specialty type position you'll be able to come in, because the company has to make an effort to give details on your job position that show that it's a specialty and that they can't find this type of people out there to do that. Now, say something like IT, the Filipinos are pretty good with the computers here, and so IT departments would have a hard time, they might be questioned on it. But there again, new technologies. There's stuff going on with computers right now some of us don't even know about. But in 6 months, boom, it's going to be here. There's another area. So hopefully you can understand where I'm going with this. Now, people that do come over here and they just go out and try to find work, one area that many of them have been able to find work in is a BPO. BPO is a business outsourcing type company. Call centers are really a big part of that. And call centers can range from a little bit of anything. That's the person when you're in the U.S. and you need customer service. The call is out, routed to a call center here in the Philippines. And they direct you through something. They let you register your new computer, your new device, many different types of things. And they're looking for a lot of English speakers, okay? But not only English, but English will be the vast majority of them. German, Japanese, wherever that call center or business outsourcing is dealing, whatever country that they're dealing with, they're going to be looking for those people that speak those language. Now, many Filipinos speak the English language, and many speak it very well. Their call centers are mostly filled with Filipino. So English speakers that are very good with the English language, unlike me, they can do very, very well in here. In fact, most of them go in and within a very short amount of time are a team leader, possibly a manager. Remember, a lot of this, if you are going to be a call center, it's going to be a 24-hour operation, and your day shift of the country, so say it's the United States, we're 12 hours difference from the East Coast United States. Your largest crew is going to be the day shift of that country, if you understand what I'm saying. So the overnight shift is going to be the big one to handle the influx of calls during the daytime in the United States. So there would be a manager. You would be a night shift manager here, but you would be one of the main shift managers there, and vice versa, because a lot of call centers are 24-hour coverage for whatever they are doing, whatever company they're taking care of. And other types of business outsourcing. There's a lot of different areas that this goes into. And if you have office skills, management skills, just the skills, it doesn't have to be in that. But the fact that you speak English and other languages, of course, but English we'll talk about because it's the big one. If you're an English speaker and you have some office skills of some type or some manager supervisory position, you're going to move up in these rather rapidly. The downside to it, the pay is not going to be anywhere what you think your pay coming from the United States. Even a lower paid position in the United States is pretty good pay over here. So the numbers are, you're looking at say a call center moved up to a team leader after a couple weeks because of your skills, maybe 30,000 pesos a month. That's 600, a little bit less than 600 US. Can you live here on that? Yeah, but it's not easy. Now, if that's supplementing an income that you have coming in, maybe you have a small pension, maybe you have a small disability pension, which you're actually not supposed to be working on, but maybe you're getting rental on a house or something like that from the United States. Well, 30,000 might make the difference between struggling here and having a good income to live on here. Now, in those other fields, the more professional fields, that money can get very high. But I doubt those people are sitting here watching videos like this on YouTube about whether or not they can work here. Okay, they know, they've researched it, they have their companies that research this stuff. So that's probably not going to be the crowd we're looking for. We're looking for the average crowd here explaining this too. So now for those people that go into say a BPO, a call center here, the company is basically going to be your sponsor. You're going to go to the dole. You're going to get an AEP, Alien Employment Permit, AEP. And I believe it costs about $8,000 or $9,000 from what I understand. You're going to have to provide some other things. Of course, you're going to have an NBI clearance here. They often have quite a bit of things that they require requirements for you here. Nothing that's difficult to do. But the company is also going to be giving you a letter and sponsoring you. And then you'll receive, within I think a couple weeks or so, you're going to receive your AEP permit. And now you're going to take that and some more required paperwork to the immigration. And immigration, and I was going to look at all this also, and then grant you, if everything's right, they're going to grant you a 9G working permit. The permit is, the time length on that is per the contract that you have with the company. BPO company gives you a 1 year, maybe a 2 year contract. That's how long your visa is going to be good for. Then if it's renewed, you go back, you renew it, they renew it. So that's how the process on that works. That visa can take a little bit of time. They claim 40 days. Most people are experiencing, in the 3, sometimes 4 months. But they give you also I think as it can be requested, they give you a special permit, or anyway, it allows, because of the permit, it allows you to go ahead and work while you're waiting for your regular visa to come through. So those details can all be worked out. Like I said, either with the company who takes care of that stuff, they have people to assist you with it, or they do it all themselves. And many are going to make you do all the work. So like I said, the answer is yes, but you got to keep in mind it's not easy. You're not going to hold down a regular job here, and it's illegal to do that if you're on a tourist visa. If you just come in over here on a whim, you know, maybe you want to meet that girl you've been chatting with on Facebook, and all you got is a plane ticket and a little bit of money in your pocket, and you're just going to wing it from there. Bad way to do it. Don't know how many times we see people here either on Facebook or in person, and they're down on their luck, they're broke, they came over here. Some of them always claim, normally they always claim that the girl took all of his money and all that. Well, that happens here. I'm sure it does. I think it's also used as a good excuse for people that didn't make good plans. You know, you can decide that on your own. But you don't want to do it, and you do not want to get caught working somewhere here, you know, under, basically under the table, doing some type of work here. You get caught, and it may not be a big thing in your country, especially like the United States. You know, it's a little bit of a slap on the wrist. They can't even seem to deport people over there anymore, no matter what you do. But here, your day in paradise is going to really get bad. They can lock you up, and they will lock you up. And basically, once you're in the system, they, you know, kind of decide how soon they want to get around to taking care of it. So, meanwhile, you sit in a really ugly prison in Quezon City for foreigners, special one for foreigners. Nobody's going to be in a hurry to do anything about your case. And another thing about getting in trouble here with anything, it doesn't even matter if you're convicted of something. Okay. Once any kind of charges are brought against you for anything, it's also, immigration is notified, and immigration just makes a quick determination without, you know, any hearing or anything else, that you're, I forget the term for it here, but basically you're undesirable. Okay, so as soon as you get done with whatever your problems are with the legal side, immigration gets you and says, okay, and now we're deporting you. But before they'll deport you, you got to pay up all your visa fees that you accumulate while you're in prison. So while you're locked up in prison or jail, your visa fees continue, and because you're not paying them, you're going to have late fees on that. So it really rubs a lot of salt in the wound when you get out of the legal trouble, and now they're going to deport you, but you got to stay in jail until the fees for immigration are paid. It can really get ugly, and it tends to get uglier with your attitude and your mouth, and you'll see it a lot here. And so anyway, that's the real bad and downside of not planning things out. Don't get into that here. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that in your home country. You certainly don't want to do that as a foreigner in a foreign country. Okay? So there is the good, the bad, and the ugly of working in the Philippines. Now that, like I said, that is for working. Now I'm going to go into business, and we have a business here, and it's going to be a series of videos on it. I'll try to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly of having a business here, and answer that question for you. Can a foreigner have a business here? Stay tuned, and I'll get you all up to date with Pirate Cove version of owning a business in the Philippines. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope this helped. Please listen to what I said. Listen to what others say. Don't take just my word for it. Research. Okay? See ya. Hey everybody, already an update. Something I forgot to mention in the video. I explained the working visa for working in the visa. You can also work legally in the Philippines if you have a permanent resident visa, like myself. Okay, I'm on the marriage 13A permanent visa. I can work. I don't need a AEP permit, and I can legally work at any job that I want to here in the Philippines. That is one advantage you have when you have a residency visa. I can actually have any job here. It doesn't matter. If you are on the SRRV visa, you can work here also. I'm not sure if there's a limit on what jobs you can have. I don't think there is. But I think some of them require that you have the AEP, the permit to do it, but you won't need the visa. And the PRA, the Philippine Retirement Authority, will help you with your AEP, because some of those are work out with investment type work in that, so you would be possibly in a business, things of that nature. And so they'll work you through that, whether you need one or not. If you do, they help you get it. They part of the process. And the advantages of being on the SRRB is that they always help take care of that kind of stuff. Hopefully that's all the updates right now. If you have any comments on it or anything different that you've done or seen, put them in the comments down below. Okay? Thanks. Bye again.